was quiet, too quiet. A place where only whispers and orders were allowed. But that calm broke the moment Malik Miles, a 12-year-old boy with sharp eyes and quiet wisdom beyond his age, ran straight into the office. Every man in the room turned. At the center sat Jordan Banks, the mafia boss, calm, controlled, and dangerous without raising a finger. Standing behind him were two of his bodyguards, and one of them was his favorite, Tyler, his toughest bodyguard, a man who rarely showed emotion, but even he raised an eyebrow when the boy appeared. No one expected a child, especially one this composed, even in panic, to burst into a meeting like this. Malik wasn't strong, but he was brave. He wasn't loud, but he always spoke with purpose. His mother had raised him to think before acting, to stay calm even when the world wasn't. But this time he had to run. He stopped right in front of Jordan Banks's desk, breathing hard but not backing down. That alone shocked everyone. You don't stand in front of Jordan like that. Even adults don't. Yet he did. Jordan looked at him slowly, studying him with unexpected curiosity. "Kid, do you know where you are?" the mafia boss asked the little boy with a sharp tone. Malik swallowed hard but stood his ground. "Please, sir, they're hitting my mother." Malik was faster, desperate, but still steady. The Iron Vipers, they came to my mom's laundromat. They said she has to pay a security fee she doesn't have. She told them the truth. They didn't care. They started breaking the washing machines, and one of them hit her head, pushing her to the wall. My mama tried calling the police. She really did. But it just kept ringing. No one picked up. That's why I ran here. The room stiffened. A child's cry for his mother's help was not even among the least any one of them in that meeting room expected. Jordan's expression shifted, barely, but Tyler noticed it. Malik continued, voice shaking but determined. "My mother, she taught me something. She said, when trouble is bigger than you, find someone strong enough to stop it. Don't stay silent. So I came here, sir, please help my mom." The room fell completely silent. The men in that room were men feared by the city, yet they were the ones staring at a child in disbelief. If powerful stories about courage, truth, and the fight for justice speak to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share the video so more people who appreciate powerful storytelling can discover it. Because what you're about to discover isn't just drama, it's a hidden truth about a child's bravery, a mother's pain, and a mafia boss's past colliding in a way that no one saw coming. Jordan Banks didn't choose the mafia. Life pushed him into it the day he lost his mother. He grew up learning that the world doesn't protect the innocent, so he became the kind of man who would. Every scar, every decision, every battle he fought, all rooted in the promise he made as a boy standing at his mother's graveside. No one else will suffer the way she did. And that promise shaped the legend he became. Jordan leaned forward, curiosity growing. "You ran to a mafia boss for help," said Jordan Banks. "You're the only one they'd be scared of." Malik whispered. That line made even Tyler turn his head. Jordan exhaled slowly, studying the boy, thinking, this small, wise, fearless 12-year-old who walked into a lion's den because he believed it was the only chance to save his mother. The suspense in the room thickened. Jordan finally stood up from his chair, calm and very deliberate, and every man in the room knew something was about to happen. Jordan Banks slowly walked around his desk, standing directly in front of Malik. His towering figure didn't scare the boy. Malik just looked up, steady, waiting. Jordan's voice dropped lower, calmer, but sharper. "Who is your mother, kid? What's her name?" the mafia boss asked. "Her name is Danielle Miles." Malik answered with hesitation. Jordan blinked. That last name, Miles, hit him for some reason. He then spoke quietly this time, almost thoughtful. "Danielle Miles, she raised you alone?" Malik nodded slowly. "Yes. My dad died when I was 9. Car accident on his way home from work. Mama told me that Dad didn't have more kids because things were tough." Jordan's jaw tightened. Every man in the room noticed it, because they knew Jordan's story too, about his own mother, years ago, bruised and broken from abusive men before he rose to power. His wife gone, taken from him by the same kind of cruelty that now threatened Malik's mother. Jordan crouched down, so he was eye level with Malik, this time not intimidating, but human. Jordan Banks' voice soft and steady. He said, I lost my wife because I wasn't there in time. I know what it's like to feel helpless, and I won't let you feel that today. Malik swallowed, eyes trembling. Jordan continued with more firmness. Did they injure your mother? Malik nodded, looking down quietly. One of them pushed her against a dryer. She's bleeding. She tried to protect the shop. Jordan leaned forward slightly. Does your mom have family? Someone who can help her right now. Malik shook his head first, then corrected himself. My grandma, Evelyn Miles. She lives all the way in Harlem, but she doesn't have a car. Jordan stood up sharply. Don't worry about transportation. From now on, that's my problem. What's the exact location of your mother's laundromat? South Bronx, near the corner of 149th and Brook Avenue. Miles wash and clean, Malik said firmly. Jordan Banks leaned forward slightly, blinked, impressed at the clarity. Thinking, at 12 years old, and he gives directions like a grown man. He nodded slowly, looking around the faces of his fellow business team. You pay attention. That's rare. Jordan said. Malik stood firm, fist tight. Mama taught me to. She said Malik pay attention always. She said one day I might be the only one needed to help her. Jordan held his gaze, realizing the boy's courage and maturity were far beyond his age, realizing something chillingly familiar. This boy had the same fire he once had, the same hunger for justice, the same instinct to protect family at any cost. But more than that, he had wisdom, real wisdom, not the kind taught in school, but the kind born from hardship. Malik Miles, Jordan called him and nodded his head. Good. Tyler will get her safely. Jordan nodded and looked at the men sitting around his table once again and pulled out his phone, gold-trimmed, heavy, and dialed a number with authority. The whole room listened. Dr. Alvarez. Emergency case. A woman in South Bronx, laundromat on 149th Street, New York Road. Head injury, possible internal bruising. You're going there now. My people will escort you back. He hung up, then turned back to Tyler. Tyler, he called calmly. Tyler stepped forward immediately. Yes, boss. Tyler answered sharply. Take a car to Harlem. Pick up Evelyn Miles, his grandma. Bring her safely to the laundromat. And take 2 men with you. No risks. Tyler nodded, already moving. Malik looked shocked. This was more help than he ever dreamed of. Jordan placed a hand on Malik's shoulder, gentle but powerful. Kid, today, nobody lays a hand on your mother again. Not in my city. The room fell silent, because every man in there knew. Jordan Banks wasn't making a promise. He was declaring a war. Jordan Banks stood still for a moment after sending Tyler out. A strange silence fell over his office. Then something shifted in his eyes. A memory. A rage he hadn't felt in years. A version of himself he buried when he left the violent side of the mafia to run a legitimate business. He whispered to himself, under his breath, I should have never let them go. Then, louder, he reached for a phone hidden beneath a false panel in his desk. A line he hadn't touched in 5 years. He pressed one button. It rang once, twice. Then a voice answered, deep, sharp, and familiar. Boss, is that really you? Jordan's tone dropped into a level Malik had never heard before. He had never heard or seen a man like Jordan speaking so calm. I'm calling the squad back. All of you. Full gear. My office. 10 minutes. On the other end, silence, then excitement. Yes, boss. The whole 7-man unit is on the way. Jordan hung up. He straightened his suit, adjusting the gold cufflinks on his wrists. Something about him now felt different, dangerous again. Malik watched him, realizing this man wasn't just a businessman. He was a storm waking up. Minutes later outside, the Mafia boss's office. 6 black Cadillac Escalade, fully blacked out. Smooth, quiet, bulletproof options. Perfect for convoys, rolled up in a line. Doors opened in perfect sync. 7 men stepped out, Jordan's old elite squad. Huge, disciplined, silent, and obedient. As the 7-man squad stepped out of the lineup cars and lined up, Jordan stepped outside with Malik beside him. Jordan placed a steady hand on Malik's shoulder and spoke with a voice heavy enough to quiet the entire street. Jordan Banks cleared up his throat. Listen up, all of you. I didn't join this life because I wanted power. I joined because I had no one. I was just a kid when I watched my own mother die at the hands of men who thought they were untouchable. That pain pushed me into these streets, pushed me into this family. 10 years ago, when the police dragged me in, I waited for one of you to walk through that station door, to stand for me the way I've stood for every one of you. But no one came. Not one. From that day, I left all of you behind, because loyalty without action is just noise. But today you reminded me why I built this crew in the first place. We said we would be different. We said we would protect the weak, stand for the innocent, and live by a code stronger than blood. So hear me now. If we're going to wear this name, if we're going to walk these streets as brothers, then we do good. Always. We never turn our backs on the helpless. We never become the monsters that made me who I am. Because if we fail that, then we are no better than the men who killed my mother. This is Malik Miles, the boy whose mother was humiliated, beaten, and disgraced in her own shop today. And from this moment on, his fight is our fight. The squad looked at Malik, not as a child, but as someone the boss himself had chosen to protect. He continued, "We're heading to 149th Street. The mother's injured. Tyler and the grandmother are on the way. Move." They nodded and loaded up instantly. Malik climbed into the front of one of the black Cadillac Escalade with Jordan. As the engines roared to life, Malik whispered, "Sir, are they all coming just for my mom?" Jordan glanced down at him. "Your mother was attacked. That makes it my war now." "Please, sir, I don't want war. I only need justice and revenge for my mother. I don't want us to be in trouble." Mr. Jordan smiled, looking into Malik's eyes, and said, "Exactly, that's what we're going to do, not really a war." Minutes later, at the laundromat, Tyler arrived first with Malik's grandmother. Then Jordan's motorcade pulled in, engines humming like a warning. The laundromat's door was cracked open, but at that moment none of the Iron Vipers were found. Only Danielle Miles, Malik's mother, sitting on the floor beside a broken washing machine, holding her head, shaking, crying quietly. Malik ran to her. Mama, are you okay?" Danielle looked up, eyes swollen, but she forced a smile when she saw him. "Baby, you came back. Thank God," Malik's mother said slowly. Tyler was already scanning the place with 2 squad members. The grandmother, Evelyn Miles, stood behind them, hugging Malik tightly when she got the chance. Grandma Evelyn was angry and trembling. "I told her this neighborhood wasn't safe. I told her," she said as she walked towards Danielle, her son's lovely wife. Jordan stepped forward, voice calm but heavy with authority. "Danielle, can you recognize the men who attacked you? Any faces?" "Their leader," Jordan asked Malik's mother calmly. Danielle wiped her tears, breathing shakily as she tried to respond. "The one in front. I've seen him before. Tall, muscular, cornrows. They call him Rico. He's been harassing small shops around here, asking for money. They said it's security fee, and still some shops in this neighborhood still get rubbed every week." Jordan's expression darkened. He turned to his squad. "Rico, cornrows, extortion crew. Find him." But before they moved, Malik spoke up, loud enough to stop everyone. And there was another one. The others kept calling him Smokes. He was breaking the machines. Jordan's head tilted slightly. "Smokes," Jordan repeated. Grandma Evelyn gasped. "Oh Lord, isn't that the one who robbed Mr. Jenkins' store last year?" Jordan nodded grimly. Everything was coming together. He crouched near Danielle, meeting her eyes respectfully, and said, "You're safe now, but I need every detail, everything you remember, because whoever touched you will answer to me." Danielle looked at him, not scared but relieved. For the first time all night, she felt safe. The squad stood ready. Engines hummed outside. Tension thickened. This wasn't over. It had only begun. The laundromat was quiet. Too quiet. Danielle Miles sat on a small stool, gently touching the bruise forming on her cheek. Malik stood beside her protectively, while Grandma Evelyn held her hand. Immediately, Dr. Alvarez drove into the street and parked. He rushed forward quickly with his first aid bag and greeted Mr. Jordan Banks. He handled Malik's mother's injuries quickly after cleaning her wounds. Dr. Alvarez interrupted as he heard the Jordan squad talking about the names of the gangsters. Rico, see, I know him. Treated him once. 2 bullets in his legs. Man like that doesn't change. Trouble follows him everywhere. Jordan Banks stepped forward, his voice steady but filled with controlled fire. Danielle, tell me everything. How did it start? Danielle swallowed hard, eyes lowering as she replayed everything that had happened earlier that morning. They walked in like they owned the place. Rico came straight to the counter. He slammed his hand down and said, I was behind on the security fee. I told him I didn't have money this week. And that's when her voice cracked. Malik clenched his fists. She continued. He grabbed me by the arm, pushed me against the washer. The others laughed while they tipped the machines over. People outside saw it. Neighbors. Some of them didn't even help. They just stood there. Grandma Evelyn muttered under her breath. Lord have mercy. Phones out, but no one helping? Jordan's eyes sharpened. Phones. Danielle, did anyone record what happened? Anyone at all? Jordan asked. Danielle closed her eyes, frustrated with herself. I don't know. Everything happened too fast. I couldn't focus on faces. There was a heavy silence. Then Malik stepped forward boldly. I know someone. Jordan turned to him immediately. Tell me who. Malik hesitated. Miss Alana from next door. She recorded everything. I heard her say she was going to post it on YouTube as educational content to teach people how to handle street harassment. Grandma Evelyn's eyes widened. That girl is always filming something, she said calmly. Jordan nodded once. Bring her here. Within minutes, Miss Alana Rivera, a young neighborhood woman with a camera bag over her shoulder, walked in nervously, escorted by 2 of Jordan's men. She froze when she saw Jordan Banks. Everyone knew his reputation in the New York City. Alana careful and hesitated. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't say you did. Open your phone. Jordan replied sharply. She gulped, then unlocked it. Jordan leaned in, watching her open her YouTube channel, a channel filled with documentaries about community events, injustices, safety tips, and public awareness videos. Jordan asked, You film to educate? Yes, sir. I try to show what really happens in our neighborhood. Alana answered fearfully. Good. I need that video edited properly. Clean audio. Stable frame. Every face visible. Upload it tonight. Alana nodded quickly, her hands shaking. I can do that. Do it. The world needs to see what they did. But before that, Jordan repeated, send that video to my WhatsApp, just the way you captured it before editing. Jordan's eyes hardened with purpose as he turned to Alana. Go to Marcus, he instructed, nodding toward one of his men. He'll give you my WhatsApp number. Send the video right now. Alana hurried to Marcus, received the number, tapped quickly on her phone, and within seconds, the video was sent exactly where Jordan needed it. Jordan turned sharply toward Tyler, his voice firm and unquestionable. Tyler, take Malik, his mother, and his grandmother. You and 2 men will escort Dr. Alvarez back to his hospital with them. They get full treatment, no delays, no excuses. Stay with them until I say otherwise. Tyler nodded once, already signaling the others. Jordan continued, his tone dropping into that cold, calculated calm only a former MAFIA king could master. I'm heading back to the office with the rest of the crew. We're planning the takedown. Malik, quiet but bold, interrupted. Mr. Jordan, when you find them, will you really make sure this never happens to someone else's mom? Jordan kneeling slightly, steady voice. I'm not just making sure, Malik. I'm guaranteeing it. What happened to your mother ends tonight. Malik studies him, surprisingly mature for 12. Is that why you helped us? Because someone once helped you. Jordan freezes a little. Malik hits deeper than expected. No, because no one helped me. And I'll never let another kid feel that way. Jordan said. Malik nods slowly, eyes glistening. Malik's mother steps forward. She places a trembling hand on Jordan's arm. I don't know how to thank you. I really thought nobody would come. I thought. She steadied her voice and continued. I thought this city forgot people like us. Jordan shakes his head gently and said, Your son didn't let that happen. He walked straight into danger to protect you. That's courage most adults don't have. Malik's mother wipes a tear, she said. He's all I've got. Thank you for protecting my only child. Jordan leans closer, tone serious but warm. From now on, he's not alone, and neither are you. Jordan looks at Tyler and two other guards. No stops, no delays. Keep them safe. As Tyler nodded firmly and guided the family toward the lined black Cadillac Escalade waiting outside, Grandma Evelyn paused and looked back at Jordan. Thank you, son, whoever you really are. Jordan gave a small nod, barely a smile but real. As soon as the car carried Malik and his family pulled away, Jordan's entire face changed. The gentleman was gone. What stood there now was the old boss. He turned to his 7-man squad. His voice dropped to pure steel. He glanced toward the dark streets of the neighborhood and said sharply, "No one lays a hand on a child's mother in my city." He pulled out his phone, the screen lighting his face with purpose. That video Alana's posting, the city's gonna see it. The NYPD will see it. Everyone will know exactly what these cowards did. He slid the phone back into his pocket. By the time it finishes trending, he continued, "The police and the streets will be hunting them with us." He stepped toward his car. "Tonight," Jordan said quietly, "the gangsters who hurt Malik's mother run out of places to hide." The engines roared. The hunt began. Jordan and his squad drove back to his office under the cover of night, engines rumbling through the streets like a storm gathering its strength. Inside the dimly lit headquarters, they spread out maps, studied the video Alana sent, and pieced together every possible lead. No one slept. Not Jordan. Not his men. The room pulsed with tension and purpose. Hours later, Alana's edited video goes live. Within minutes, the title spreads across YouTube, TikTok, and local news feeds on Facebook and Reddit communities. Local shop owner attacked by extortion crew in broad daylight. Raw footage. Views skyrocketed. 10,000. 30,000. 100,000. Comments flooded in. "Find these guys. This is disgusting. Justice for Danielle." If this story of humiliation, courage, and justice moved you, share and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Jordan watched the numbers climbing from his office. His jaw tightened. Good. Let the world help us hunt them. By morning, the sky was pale and cold. Jordan stepped out of his office, fully suited, eyes sharp with resolve. "All right," he said to his squad, "we move. Gear up. We're finding Rico. We're finding Smokes along with other unidentified goons. We're shutting this entire operation down." The men lined up beside their vehicles, engines ready, hearts steady. And as the sun rose over the city, Jordan Banks and his squad rolled out, searching street by street, block by block, determined, heading to the little boy's mom laundromat, and also to find the gangsters who tried to break a good woman and nearly broke her son's world. The hunt continued, and this time it was daylight and unavoidable. At the laundromat, present moment, Jordan approached Danielle, Malik, and Grandma Evelyn again. He pulled out his phone and showed them the names. Rico, Smokes, and two other unidentified goons. These are the faces we're going after. Few hours that evening, the Iron Vipers learned that there's never smoke without fire. Jordan's convoys cut through the streets of Harlem like shadows. Tyler rode in front, scanning every alley. Jordan rode with two of his men, calm but lethal. Tyler listened through the radio. They're near Lenox Avenue. Locals say Rico's crew is hiding behind the old warehouse. Jordan spoke into the radio with surgical precision. "Surround the block. No one slips out." Within minutes, the squad moved like a silent army, blocking exits, cutting corners, sealing off escape routes. Jordan stepped out of the car, the night wind hitting his coat. And then, they saw them. Rico, Smokes, and the two goons, laughing beside a graffiti-covered wall, passing around stolen cash. Jordan's squad emerged from the shadows like a wall of muscle and discipline. Rico froze mid-laugh. Smokes dropped his cigarette. Rico, shaken and surprised to see Jordan Banks again, thinking he had showed up to intimidate them over the cash. Not knowing he's no longer the same person he was 10 years back. "Banks, you back." Jordan stepped forward alone, hands behind his back, calm and deadly. He straightened up, facing Rico. You humiliated a woman in her own laundromat shop earlier yesterday morning. Rico frozen, wondering how Jordan Banks had heard about it. A step closer. You terrified her child. Jordan continued. Another step. You broke machines, and still you warn them that it will be worse than that if they didn't provide the money you always extort from them if he returns back. You broke peace. Jordan's voice very loud this time. He continued, I'm not the kind of mafia boss that supports such in my state or neighborhood, even as we live in a world where everyone's chasing more. Moving forward until inches from Rico. And now I'm here to break your entire operation. Rico tried to act tough. Look, man, it was just business. Jordan's fist hit Rico's jaw before the sentence finished. Rico slammed to the ground. Smokes charged Jordan with a broken bottle. But two squad members grabbed him mid-swing, slamming him onto the hood of car. The two unidentified goons tried to run, but Tyler cut them off, clotheslining one and pinning the other to the pavement. It wasn't a fight. It was a message, wrapped with karma. Within seconds, the whole crew was overpowered, breathing hard, wrists locked behind them, faces bruised, begging for mercy. Jordan leaned over Rico, who lay coughing on the concrete. You picked the wrong mother to mess with. After that, they were tied up, dragged to a hall where the Mafians treat the hell out of people like Rico and his little squad. They off their clothes as one person was pouring water on them, and each remaining members of Jordan Banks participated in beating and punishing them. Justice served. Police sirens lit up the block. Yes, Jordan called them himself. Because justice wasn't just revenge. It was accountability. The NYPD arrived to find all four criminals neatly restrained. Video evidence already trending online, and the entire neighborhood gathered in shock. An officer approached Jordan. Mr. Banks, we've got enough to charge them. Good work. Jordan nodded once. Not proud, not boastful, just satisfied. By morning, the video had over 4 million views. Like and share this video to make more people discover it if you love and support story about justice and kindness well detailed like this one. People brought flowers, donations, new washing machines, food trays, envelopes of support. Everyone wanted to meet the boy who had run through the streets screaming for help. They're hitting my mother. And the man who answered the call. Malik became a symbol of courage. Danielle became the community's strength. Jordan Banks became something rare, a feared man who chose to protect, not destroy. Neighbors hugged Malik. Strangers shook Jordan's hand. Grandma Evelyn cried when the press called Malik the brave heart of Harlem. Jordan placed a hand on Malik's shoulder as cameras clicked around them. He said to Malik, "You saved your mother, and you saved this neighborhood. Be proud, kid." Malik looked up at him, eyes watering. "Thank you, Uncle Jordan Banks, for believing in me." Jordan knelt down, face soft for the first time in years. "You remind me of who I used to be. Don't ever lose that fire." And so, a 12-year-old boy with courage bigger than his fears, and a mafia boss with a heart he thought he buried, stood together in the light of a new day. Justice served, community united, a mother safe, a boy praised, and a man changed forever.